All right, I was motoring to where I wanted to fish today, an area I saw on a map that looked really good to me, but I came across this point with that mixing water. Hopefully you can see that, and it just looks really good. Something I got to check out, see if I can catch some speckled trout there. Really deep here, 20 feet right here, but there's obviously a ledge right there. So we're gonna go hit that on our way to our other area. Let's see what we can catch. All right, but before we fish, we are going to put on the Marsh Romance because the gnats are horrible, and I wore shorts today. Maybe not the best decision. The gnats all over me. There's no wind. It is supposed to blow later today, but there's none right now. All right, where I stopped my boat right here, it's only 4 feet. I got to get up to that ledge. Just saw some bait on it. I'm gonna start with this limbo slice matrix shad on a 3/8 ounce death grip jig head. It's my favorite deep water rig. Catch a ton of fish on this bait. Look at this, fell off to 10 feet. But we're gonna head up here to this ledge and fish that. Part of the fun of fishing this way is trying to figure out how these fish are holding on these ledges. I don't entirely know how this one's structured. I have my guesses. As a general rule, I like to throw up on the ledge and work the bait back down the ledge against the current. But I frequently find the fish not in a situation like that. So you really got to work it every way imaginable. This one looks really good. Oh, there's one. Not a big fish. Right species, just not the right size. Very spotty speckled trout. All right, it's 23 feet right here, and we're super close to that point. So obviously there's a significant drop off somewhere. This tide is incoming here, so you really want to fish where it butts up against that ledge wall. That's where the bait is going to get pushed against and get disoriented. So we're going to throw up here and work it down the ledge. I like to hit a lot of these in a day's fishing. Generally, you won't find the mother lode at the first, 2 or 3 that you hit. But if you hit enough of them, there's another bite. There's a small fish. If you hit enough of them, you're going to find some fish, no doubt. Just a super good pattern in the springtime. I think there's a bunch of little guys here. Keep getting bites, no connections. Here's one. It's not a team maker. Bunch of little fish here. I'm getting multiple bites every cast. Sometimes you just have to change the angle to find the bigger fish. The small fish will be on the fringe. The big fish will kind of take over the prime area. Just got to figure out what that is. And oftentimes it's not where you think it is. All right, not much to speak of at these 2 ledges. Made a lot of casts. Let's go hit the next one down. It's kind of how this game goes. All right, we go, next ledge, 28 feet right here. Just insane depths. Really good moving water at the beginning of this rising tide. I so much prefer a rising tide doing this. You can catch them on a fall, certainly, but definitely prefer the rise. Oh, shoot, I got popped. I missed him. He was hooked up for a second. Now, that felt like a better fish compared to those babies we were catching at the other shelf. Definitely got to explore this. Another baby hit. That was a baby hit. As this water warms, you definitely get a higher percentage of small fish at these ledges. Water temp right now is 73.8. We should be able to run across some keepers for sure. But as you move through the month of May, these fish do get smaller. Of course, the fish themselves don't get smaller, just smaller fish replace the ones that move outside to spawn. There's one. That was a good hit. Feels like a pretty good fish, although he feels like he might be foul hooked. fighting real weird. Real weird. Definitely feels like a foul hook fish. Or it could be a cat. Now he's feeling catfish-like. If he's a blue cat, he's gonna take a boat ride to the hacienda. I do like eating those. He's very much feeling cat-like. Oh no, he's not even a blue cat. He's a gaff top. Of course, one of the big problems with gaff tops, the slime they leave on your line. Go to great pains to fish a low vis line, and they turn your line white. All right, so far we're 0 for 3 on ledges. There's another one up ahead. We'll fish our way to it. Let's see if we stumble across a few speckled trout. Oh shoot, I missed another one. It appears it's kind of one of those days where they're not like feeding, not ingesting the baits, just kind of mouth hitting them. And there's another one, doesn't feel big at all. That was a baby. Or maybe that's why I'm missing so many. Maybe it's just a bunch of little fish. Maybe the big one's already moved out, who knows? Definitely too early. Definitely too early. Just gotta find some. Oh man, I keep missing fish, terrible. Good bites, that was a really good bite. Post up here a second, see what we can catch. Oh, there's a fish. Probably foul hooked. Didn't feel him hit. Good trout. Holy Toledo. That's a real good trout. I guess all the big ones haven't moved out. Look at this guy. Get some big fish on these ledges. He was hooked well. Let's see how big he is. It's a 19-inch fish. Kind of skinny, got some big fat spots. Beautiful fish. Normally I release this fish, but I got some people who want some fish. I'm gonna bring to them. All the hard bites I've gotten, and I didn't feel that fish hit. He was just there. There's another one. There's another one. That's a keeper. He's not as big, but he is a keeper. It's a good fish. That one I did feel hit. Yeah, real good fish. All right, the size you like to take home. 15, 16 inches. All right. Yeah, go crazy in there. Now you got a little company. There's another one. There's another one. Also feels like a really good fish. Yep, feels like a really nice trout. Yep, he sure is. All right. That's about a 17-incher. Some really, really beautiful fish on that limbo slice matrix shad. Love this bait fishing deep. I saw a little daylight, tried to make an escape, jailbreak. Oh, shoot, I missed him. That was a very hard hit. Sometimes all you got to do is catch one. It gets the rest of them inspired to feed. They're right up on that drop off, throwing up on the flat. And as soon as it gets to the edge, that's when they hit it. Let it follow the bottom, hop it, hop it. And no bite. Fish don't like it when you try and call your shot. There's one. That doesn't feel like the fish of the day. He is not the fish of the day. Is he 13? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say he's 12. I will check him, however. All right, he's 12 inches. We gave him some new body jewelry. Sent him on his way. Hopefully we get a report on him. All right, I've gotten a lot of bites here. Converted some of them, but I'm gonna move on. There's a ledge not far from here that I discovered on my last trip. Tide was falling then. I only caught some small fish there, but I'm gonna go check it out on a rise, see if there's some bigger fish. All right, back in a second. All right, this isn't the exact bend I was talking about, but I remember this one having some depth. Make a few casts here. Where I am is 3.5 feet. I think in the middle here it's about 10, so good drop off. Oh, there's a fish. First cast. I don't know. I don't know. Nope. Yeah, you see that drop off right here in this bend, heading to 9 feet. 9.5, 10 feet. Yep, 10 feet in this bend. I'm heading to the next one. Made a bunch of casts in here, only caught that one fish. Had a couple other bites, but I think they were probably small. That's how this is. A lot of exploring. A lot of hits and misses. But it's a lot of fun when you hit the jackpot. Definitely worth the effort, for sure. Same thing in this bend, 9.5 feet. 10 feet. Look how flat it's gotten. Man, it's just flat calm. Calm, calm. All right, here's our deep hole. See what it's got in it. Oh, there we go. Well, that's not a speckled trout. He was right on that ledge. I think he's a keeper. He's a small red, but I think he's a keeper. I think he's big enough to take home. Oh yeah, he is. Oh yeah, definitely. Beautiful. He's all lit up, copper colored. Pretty fish. Couple spots on that side, just one on that side. He tagged it, hit it very hard. Dude, you were never getting off. I can't even see that hook. Last time I was here, I went up in that pond and tried to fish it, but it's full of snodgrass, very unfishable. You can tell that's where that red came from because he was beautiful. I know that water in there is gin clear. Oh goodness, I got smoked. I bet that was a 12-inch trout if I had to guess. Full of piss and vinegar. All right, I have done a tour of the marsh and don't have a whole lot to show for it. I fished some ledges, I fished some lakes, Just haven't done a whole lot, but I've continued to explore. Now I've come into an area with some really beautiful water. It's got some depth. It's kind of a small bayou. Hopefully it'll hold a few fish. I also made a change. Tied on a green hornet matrix shad because the water in here is so pretty. I want something a little more natural looking. Not as much depth here, maybe 10 feet or so in these bends. So let's see if we can pull a rabbit out of that. It looks like there's a ledge right here. I'm gonna throw on this before I go barging in there. The wind has definitely picked up. It's not crazy, blowing maybe 10. If I don't catch anything in this area, I may go back to where I caught a few fish. I feel like there was a lot of fish there. I got a ton of bites. Just couldn't execute. The fish weren't feeding well. But this tide's definitely picked up, so that could possibly have changed by now. But I want to explore this area. I really like this water. Just looks good. Just feels right. But heck, I've fished a lot of stuff today that has felt right and haven't done too much. Last night was a full moon, so I don't like fishing the day of a full moon. I just don't. I know some people do, I just don't. You would think fishing would get better as we get closer to noon, which currently it is 10:55. It's kind of the way it is with this ledge fishing. You got to hit a lot of stuff. There's no guarantees at any one of them. I mean, a lot of them today that I've fished have looked really good. I had a lot of optimism. But you never know. Are the fish just not feeding, or they're just not fish there? Who knows? And I could almost jump to that point, and it's 12 feet right here. Obviously a good depth change. It's the type of stuff I look for. Now, the tide is rising. It's coming this way. So that, to me, is not an area I would necessarily focus on. Obviously, make a few casts. But I want to fish an area where the tide is pushing into a ledge wall. That's where the fish mostly are. Definitely some exceptions to that, but that's kind of what I like to explore first. It looks like there's one up ahead. I'm gonna hit that one. I say this all the time, but I really like days that are a grind. I do. It just forces me to sharpen my skills and figure things out. And when you do figure something out on a day like today, it's very rewarding. Much more so than if you pull up to a spot and right away just start whacking the fish. I mean, obviously I'm never gonna complain when that happens, but I do like having to work a little bit for them. Just saw a shrimp jump over here. I think that might be the first shrimp I've seen this spring. There's that wind we were promised. It's a blowing. Hard to get a full day of calm conditions this time of year. Oh, big gar. Look at that guy. Whew. Man, it's 12 feet right here, right on the edge of this pond. Beautiful. It's beautiful, but it's fishless. Now I've returned to the one place that I've caught fish today. So current time is 12:15, but we're of course on daylight saving time, so noon is really 1. That's when the moon will be underfoot and the sun will be directly overhead. The solunar table guys will tell you that's when everything gets active. Not sure how much I believe it, but I know a lot of people do. So let's see if we can get some fish to bite. I'll happily credit that if we get some fish to bite. We need something to turn in our favor. Oh, there's one. Speckled trout. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Stay hooked up, dude. That's a good fish. All right. All right. We'll credit the moon. All right, I'm glad you were hooked well. There's one. Oh, good Lord. That's a red fish. That's a red fish for sure. That's a big red too. Yep, that's a big red. We'll be fighting him a minute. Line is singing in this wind. He's gonna run under the boat. Go ahead, dude. You wanna go that way? It's fine. I don't mind. Just stay out of the motor. He just wants to live under the boat. He's like, oh, some shade. Oh yeah. About a 27 incher, I'd say. Not crazy big, but big enough. Big enough. No. No. There you go. That's where we want you. All right. All right. I'm gonna say 25 incher. He's a little bit less than 27. I don't like to keep fish this big. We're gonna let him go, but not before we put a tag in him. All right, big boy. Oh, there he goes. He's fired up. Obviously, big reds crowd these ledge walls as well. Frequently so do big old giant black drum. You also catch some flounder doing this. And why these fish are right here, I have no idea. This doesn't even look good to me. There's a point right here, but I've fished that point, nothing. Just bites from little fish. This doesn't look nearly as impressive to me, but this is where the fish are, for whatever reason. Oh, that was a good hit. Oh, he got off. That was another red. He crushed it. Oh, there's one. I think that's a speck. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that fish, how high he jumped in the air. Incredible. Hopefully that came out on camera. Another beautiful fish. He erupted through the surface. Crazy. Yeah, you were hooked really well, dude. Oh, threw in his mouth. Threw in that one's mouth. I didn't even engage the reel and he was on. Oh, a flounder. Flounder. All right. All right. Yeah, I told you flounder hang on these ledge walls as well. Whew, dude. Settle down. Love catching flounder. Always like flounder as bycatch. All right, I got to credit the moon. Got to credit the moon. These fish are definitely inspired. And they were not earlier. Oh, another one. There's an, oh, I missed him. Could have been another flounder. Oh, goodness. Come on, Todd. Oh, there's one. Oh, beautiful trout. Beautiful trout. Dude, stay hooked up. Don't you go crazy. Huh. Man, these are some nice fish. Look at that. Look at that. You got it deep, bruh. Whew. You gonna jump in the boat? There you go. All right. I like the spirit. Dude, you are insane. You are one crazy trout. Look at this guy. Look how spotty. Another really spotty fish. Just gorgeous. Unfortunately for him, he could not shed this death grip. All right, so was it the moon? Was it the bait change? Was it the fact that we just got an area with some fish? I don't know. I'm kind of going with the moon because these fish are definitely acting different, no doubt. So maybe there's something to this. You know, when I fished in Texas a few months ago, those guys are all over the solunar tables. Like, they're big believers in them. I don't pay much attention to them, but I do know when you got that full moon and you got that moon underfoot, that's when those fish tend to feed. Or at least that's the logic. And it definitely seemed to be the case today. All right, if you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the channel, Marshman Masson. You can do that by hitting that button right there. Also, here's 2 videos YouTube thinks you like. Check those out if you get a chance. And until next time, if we don't see you in the marsh, we'll see you right here on Marshman Masson.